day here, excuse me. Hey, Nicholas. Oop, as soon as I talk, Loki wants to play. He is very, literally. As soon as I started talking to you guys, he brought up the toy, and he was sleeping underneath my feet. I think he's just excited and raring to go. Yep. And poosh. There you go. It's like a little bouncy football toy. He loves it. But anyway here, guys, hope you guys are all having a great day here today. I know the crypto markets are pretty much in free fall and everybody's freaking out, but we're going to talk about it. I'm also going to expand on some of the stuff we talked about yesterday, because now we have a little bit more context to see if we were going to come back up a little bit more, or if we were going to continue moving down here. So we're going to be talking about all of that. And hey, Crypto Ricky, happy to see you back, my man. So a few things here before we start. Hey, 762. Hey, Issy, hope you guys are doing good. Before we get started, a couple things here following from the video that I posted last night, kind of giving you guys an idea of what my plans were. Basically, at this point, until we have a nice consolidation and a breakout, maybe something along the lines of the daily charts, the 4-hour charts, I'm going to be holding my powder. The one trade I told you guys I was going to do, that was up to that was on the 15-minute chart and the 20 moving average on the 15-hour chart. Every time we have a crash, I usually like to buy right before we break above that 20 moving average. In this case, I didn't make my entire profit, but I managed to make a profit. But this is what I call a higher risk play that I typically don't do all too often, because usually these types of crash events don't happen all too often. It feels like they do, but Bitcoin crashes don't happen as much as you guys would assume. So one of the things that ended up happening yesterday was we had the stochastic crossover over here, we had the MACD crossover over here, and right after we broke above this, I was taking a position right here. My price target was actually up here towards 42,500, and basically it came close, but it wasn't able to. My initial stop loss was right here. Of course, we never hit it. After we made another drop right here and it kept on moving up, my stop loss got moved up to here. And then eventually we came up a little bit higher. My stop loss moved up to here. And then I got stopped out about 3:15 in the morning when I was peacefully asleep. So I made some profit, but not nearly as much as I wanted to. I was really hoping it would make it back up here because my goal was to make it to 42,500. Right there. To about 42,600. That was my price target. Did not hit. We were not able to break above and start going up a little bit higher, I would say. So because of that, you've seen us come back down lower, unfortunately, and now we're testing out this support level here on 40,400. The best way to look at this right now, honestly, is I'm just looking at the 20-day moving average. That seems to be the goal. Now, we have broken down below it in the past, right here. The last time we managed to bounce back up, that's not normal, but what we do know is when we get close to these moving averages, especially the 20 and the 50 dailies, Bitcoin goes through an increased level of volatility. I'm not going to claim this volatility is because we're close to it right now, because we were nowhere close to it just a few days ago. But I just want you guys to understand, when it comes time for tomorrow's daily candle, there is a good opportunity we're either going to skyrocket or we're going to crash and burn. Right now, aggressive bulls are going to be buying at these levels of support with tight stop losses and waiting to see what happens. The reason I say that is at this point, let me take off all these moving averages and things like that for now. And I'm just going to plop open right here the 20. And I'm going to have it set as the daily here. That would be pretty much your stop loss, your support level, what you're looking at. To me, this is kind of too scary to really want to take this opportunity. But for those of you guys that are aggressive, you guys are going to be buying right here, hoping for those longs to go up a little bit more here. Again, if you were to buy right now, your stop loss is about 1.5%. You may even just make it 2% to give yourself some wiggle room. For me, again, a little bit more than I would like to handle at this point. Oscillators are still looking down or bearish here on the hour chart, 2-hour chart, still looking bearish here on the MACD. The stochastic is showing a little bit of noise, but overall it hasn't shown anything that's like, wow, this is really, really good news, so to speak. 4-hour chart, everything is still bearish here. The daily chart, everything is still bearish there. In fact, the MACD is probably going to cross over to being bearish tomorrow. The stochastic's been bearish since the 8th. So just like, 3-4 days, we were kind of hoping that it would continue to move up because we've had some noise up here in the oversold territory. But nope, this one seems to be happening a little bit stronger, right? So Just remember, right now, I'm using the 20-day moving average as my support level. I'm hoping we can hold and have that ricochet tomorrow, but I'm not going to pretend like tomorrow is just not going to be one of the crazy volatile days like we're seeing today. And just so you guys are aware of this here, since Bitcoin broke down, the technicals we were looking at were pretty simple. We weren't trying to look at anything too advanced. Oscillators and trend lines. I mean, you pretty much only had like an hour's warning once the breakdown happened, and after that we really started to escalate that drop, and it just took, you know, hour after hour we were crashing. So always just make sure you guys have those alerts set up. Now I got the alert, but I was also at dinner with the fam, so I took my grandparents out to that Wooden City place, and so I was getting drunk off of fall coladas and sherry luge through my, whatever you want to call that shit, bone marrow. You know, they hit the bone marrow, you scoop it out, you put it on the toast and the onions and the Dijon mustard and a little pickle. Eat that with the rest of the bone marrow. You dip the sherry in there. It's like, I googled it and they call it a very gluttonous act, which is bad because I'm fat as hell. But it was very, very tasty, and especially since I've been dieting the past few weeks, it has just been freaking horrible to. It's been nice to have some really good food. Now, one of the things here, from what I'm looking here, 1 hour, and like I said before, everything's pretty much bearish from an oscillator perspective. If you guys are the type of people like me who want to have a little bit more confidence before opening up a new position, and you guys don't really want to buy the dip, and you guys want to buy the momentum swinging back up, you guys are going to be waiting for maybe 1 to 2 days here, waiting for that consolidation to hit, and then from there, we're going to be moving up a little bit further. Bitcoin's kind of in a nice spot at the same time, just because if you kind of zoom out, Bitcoin has still come up a long way, and you're going to see this happening with a lot of altcoins, but some altcoins aren't nearly as high as Bitcoin over the past few weeks. If I go over here to coinmarketcap.com, now we're going to see that, you know, the last 30 days, Bitcoin's up 10%, but Ethereum in the last 30 days is only at 5% after the big move we saw today, and the moves are pretty similar. Let me actually zoom in here just one more tick for you guys. All right, BNB, that's actually down for the month. We all know what's going on over there. XRP is actually down for the month right now, so Bitcoin is still doing just fine. Solana is doing fine. ADA after that pump is doing fine. AVAX, there's a lot of things still doing okay. Those are probably what you want to be day trading a little bit more of, especially something like this, AVAX, which is only down about 0.7% over the last 24 hours, while the rest of the market is getting swept away. Usually in those examples, I am looking for day trading opportunities on the 15-minute chart or the hourly chart. You could just be waiting for a prolonged bearish move to happen, but either way, there's going to be an opportunity to make some money. Things like Dogecoin, still up 16% for the last 30 days, while stuff like Tron is down 5%. So some of you guys are going to be a little bit lucky than others, depending on what you guys chose. All of my altcoin stop losses got hit yesterday, or today, if you want to say, you know, during this latest move here. So I'm pretty much in no swing trades at this moment in time. All my day trades are out. My longer term investments are still there, even though they've suffered a little bit, as you might imagine, over the last few days. But overall, I'm not really going to freak out about this too much. Most of you guys, if you guys are holding mini bags now, just make sure next time you have a stop loss or you have some type of alert to kind of help you out so you can sell everything off when it actually starts to hit those levels. That way you're not holding something that's now down about maybe 10-15% abouts. All right. But let's move over here to a few other tokens just so you guys can have an idea of what's happening. You saw that Dogecoin broke down below its support. It was consolidating for the past few days. Unfortunately, Dogecoin might be moving back down here towards 0.087. Nothing too crazy, but you can see this old level of support right here and also kind of matching up with that 20-day moving average. The 20-day moving average isn't really the largest thing when it comes to Dogecoin. It kind of breaks above it and below it all the time, so it's not going to be as disastrous, I would say, as something like a Bitcoin going through that process. Ethereum here, going back down to support. What do you know? It's tapping on that 20-day moving average and the old level of support that we had from basically November 9th all the way over here to November 24th. So it's a pretty strong level of support. We'll see if it manages to hold. Like I said, at this point, if you guys are more aggressive traders, which is I think is the majority of you guys are probably going to be looking to buy right now with a simple 2% stop loss on the majority of your plays. So if you guys are trading with a 10x leverage, you're risking 20% for the opportunity for us to have a 5% day for Bitcoin tomorrow, having a monster surge where you're going to see bulls try to come back in. There's been like two we had the crash, and then, you know, as you guys know, today Elizabeth Warren came out. I don't know if I have the article here. I just go over here and search for it very fast on just Google. Crypto, yeah. There you go. Bitcoin Magazine. Oh, they make her like evil. U.S. Senator Elizabeth Warren introduces bill to crack down on Bitcoin and crypto, and it's right here. So basically, I'm trying to find out where the bill actually is, though. Text. No. See, this is active 2022. Crypto slate. I'll try to find it a little bit later after we're kind of done doing this technical stuff. Let's see. What, this might be it. Hey, there we go. And how long is it? It's only 11 pages. So, what I'll do here is, let's see if we can actually just not do work and be really lazy here and just have ChatGPT scan this thing. ChatGPT, I don't know why. Oh shit. Okay. For whatever reason, it really sucks at using the PDF plugins that I have. But I'm gonna see. Here is a bill that was just introduced. Break it down for me, nice and easy. There we go. Okay. So, purpose of the bill mandates the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, FinCEN, to issue guidance on digital assets, aims to address money laundering concerns related to digital assets. Definitions: various crypto terms related to digital assets are defined, such as anonymity, enhanced cryptocurrency, digital asset kiosk, unhosted wallet, and validator. Oh, unhosted wallet. That's interesting. Regulatory requirements, specific measures, oversight and examination, regulations on digital asset kiosk, reports and assessments, and funding, looks like. So basically it says, overall, the bill seems to seeks to bring digital assets under stricter regulatory scrutiny, especially focusing on AML and CFT measures to align them with other financial services and products. So basically, the big regulations on digital asset kiosks, rules for owners and operators of digital assets like asset kiosks, like ATM for digital assets, that maintain records, verify customer identities, and update physical addresses of kiosks regularly. Reports and assessments. Let's see. So they're required to file to issue reports assessing the risks and challenges associated with digital assets, particularly in relation to money laundering and drug trafficking. Funding authorizes necessary appropriations to the Treasury to implement and enforce this act. Let's see. Well, can I ask it? How much is the funding? Or maybe it should say they have to vote on it at a later date. Does not specify the exact amount of funding. Okay. So the big thing is the regulatory requirements, I'm guessing here, is expands the definition of financial institution under U.S. law to include entities involved in digital asset transactions like unhosted wallet providers, miners, validators, and others. Requires these entities to comply with anti-money laundering and countering the finance of terrorism regulations. Introduces regulation and reporting requirements for these entities. Can you explain more about number 3? There we go. Then we'll hop back into the cryptocurrencies here. All right, so the bill proposes to amend the definition of financial institutions in the U.S. Law, specifically in the section 531(2)(a)(2) of Title 31 of United States Code, to include various entities involved in digital asset transactions. This includes unhosted wallet providers, digital asset miners, validators, and things that we talked about already. The effective date: the amendment would take effect following the finalization of certain rules by Secretary of Treasury as specified in a previous act, the Anti-Money Laundering Act of 2020. Wait, so we passed something in 2020 and it still hasn't been implemented? Well, then what good is this bill gonna... Jesus, okay. So, Okay, so there's some time things here. Grant authority to require entities describe. Okay, and here existing registration. Okay, she just wants to centralize some stuff. This isn't something I'd be freaking out about, to be honest. New reporting obligations within 18 months of the act's enactment. FinCEN is required to issue regulations for U.S. persons holding over 10,000 in digital assets in foreign accounts. These individuals must file a report as described in existing financial regulations in line with the Bank Secrecy Act. What is a foreign account to them, I wonder? Because I hold over $10,000, but it's in a wallet, you know, and I've had it for a long, long time. I wonder how all that's going to work out, but we'll see. Overall, it doesn't seem to be too big of a problem, though. As far as the majority of other tokens out there, you know, everything's taking a pretty big hit at this point. Let me see. Oh, this is just a retracement one. Why is it here, though? There you go. Oh, yeah, we're breaking down a lot out of these things. Well, in hindsight, let's see how everything really performed, though. At the bottom. We got close, but we didn't hit it exactly. All right. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let loose right now. I'll answer the ones I can here. At this point, though, don't expect me to be telling you guys to flat out buy versus sell. Like, aggressive traders will be buying right now. Me, I am not buying right now. I'm going to wait for the storm to weather, and then I'm going to wait for some more consolidation. Then I'll start to buy when that consolidation seems a little bit easier. I see oscillators, you know, start to trend over, and then maybe once we start to see some bullish change of characters on perhaps the 2-hour charts and the 4-hour charts, then I'll start feeling more comfortable to be going along here for other opportunities. The way that's going to probably hurt me is if tomorrow we have a huge bounce off the 20-day moving average, which is again why the aggressive traders are going to be buying in right now. And hey, EC, not a good day. Hey, I mean, we'll survive. It's been a really good few weeks for Bitcoin, so whenever we have a drop like this, it's okay. Especially because, you know, we were talking about this, I think, not yesterday, but like 2-3 days ago. You know, eventually this gravy train's going to run out, but we made some profit, so we should be happy with where the market was going. It's just that, you know, eventually a lot of these things do come back down to earth. Bitcoin really did soar out of the into the heavens. Excuse me. I'm still expecting a lot of more buyers to continue to come in here. At this point, though, we're just waiting to see if we can close below the support level here. Oops, support level right there. To me, though, I'm not even thinking about that. I'm thinking about the 20-day moving average. It's just hard for you guys to see the 20-day moving average at this point, right? Because we're not on the daily charts. I got the price action ones here, so you can see change of character right over here. Break of structure, oscillators all coming down. It happened so fast. Oof. Let's see. And hey, Larry, bought more MicroStrategy puts. How are the original puts doing? Because I know I said something like, you know, I don't remember how many I said to buy, but I think you bought one. How are those ones doing? Are they back up to profit, or is it just kind of relaxing and sitting? Because we talked about it, they should not expire until like mid-January or something like that, because you just don't know. It's hard to time these type of things, right? But yeah, let me know how that original put is doing, because I'm really curious, because I should have bought some as well. I think I did actually. I should probably check on them. But I don't think they'll be moving too much, just because again they're like end of February type, or end of January expiration. What's the best app or platform to simply dollar cost average a few bucks a day or so? You know, it really depends on what you're looking for here. So if you're okay with fees over time adding up, I like Fairdesk for leverage dollar cost averaging, excuse me. However, if you are looking for something where you just want to have access to a shitload of spot tokens, I would say Kraken is a good idea, and so is going to be Crypto.com. Those ones usually have a lot. I'm working on getting affiliate links for both Kraken and Crypto.com, excuse me, and I'll put them underneath my other links here shortly. I think right now all I have is the Fairdesk and the BitUnix one, but I will add I will add some of those other ones probably later today, actually. So keep an eye out for those ones. But yeah, I would say Crypto.com, Kraken. As far as I know, I know they get sued from the SEC every now and again, but I'm hoping that they can kind of just chill with the lawsuits for a little bit. But you know, they're still going to be able to function, I believe, and they have their lawyers and everything like that. I tend to stay away from Coinbase because I think Coinbase steals more, like they have more hidden fees. Really the big one I've noticed after testing Kraken for a little bit, I've been testing Crypto.com. Coinbase has this really nasty way of just like taking away, like you have a token and you want it to turn it to USD, and then you want to move it to your bank account at the end of the day. That process is just vastly more expensive than anybody out there, like a factor of like 2 to 1 or something. It's insane. So I typically would say Crypto.com and Kraken are going to be your best bets. Like I said, I'll have some affiliate links down there pretty soon later on today, hopefully. And hey, you're watching. Hope you're doing well, my man. Nothing's popping right now. Maybe if there was a volatility index for cryptocurrency, you'd be seeing it pop off right now. And hey, Nico. Loki says hello wherever he is. I think he's by my feet sleeping again. Let's see. And hey, you're watching. Doesn't sound all too bad, to be honest. No. Trust me, this is not as bad. I was much more concerned when we were having the news around Binance and CZ and things like that, because I was afraid that something bad might happen to Binance. At this point, you know, it's okay if we can consolidate a little bit more. I had my stop losses. I was fine. I wish I was able to take an opportunity to short this sucker, but like I said, I was out at dinner and I was not paying attention to anything going on here. Right now, it's more of, do you want to buy at support, which we're kind of at that support level right now, or do you want to wait a little bit longer for an opportunity where you can feel more confident about everything? The good thing about this one, which I have to say, is when we did have this breakdown and you did see Bitcoin come down a little bit, let me pop back over here to 100%. It was a classic breakdown. We just saw increased volatility afterwards. A lot of times when Bitcoin does break down, it's so abrupt that it just comes out of nowhere, and the technicals are trying to catch up to the price action of Bitcoin. Instead of just saying, oh, we broke down, then we crashed. Sometimes when Bitcoin crashes, it's just like whales hammering in really, really fast. And it just, like, you know, destroys any hope that you have of your position making it through. But you can see at this point, let me go over here to the 15-minute chart. MACD's turning back over. You're going to see people buying in right now. And then from there, you're going to wait to see what happens next. I don't see a change of character, but you see maybe a small one right here. So, you know, what we could do is I can go over to... 1 second here. We can do a fun trade like this. Let's go to the 5-minute chart. Does not have an auto button here. So this is not something I totally recommend because we don't really have the official change of character, but on the 5-minute chart, you're seeing some stuff happen. So what I'd be doing here is, why is everything so freaking zoomed in right now? So I have about $6,000 in this account. Let's do a $1,000 long with a 30x leverage. Let's pop it up here a little bit. Let's go long. Okay. Oh, please just take my position. There we go. All right. And what I'll do is I'll have the stop loss be down here at 40,245. All right. So that means I would lose $467 if it doesn't work out. All right. And the target price, 41,120. 41,120. That's the short term. This is a scalp play. I should really make it way up here towards 41,600 or so. But for this example, let's just make it 41,100. All right. Oh, it's okay. That's the way it is. Then no, that's only $300 bounce. Let's not do it like that. 41,200 makes me a little bit happier here. And then the profit would be $232. No, that isn't. The risk is not worth that. So let's top it up here around 500. Yeah, I could do that. All right, and just wait and see. So there we go. I would say this is a high risk trade. Like I said, we don't have the change of character just yet, but we'll keep it. This isn't a whole different window, so I can't like just put it in here and let it pop. So we'll watch it ever so closely and just kind of see where it goes. At this point, it's down like 20 bucks or something like that. I'm waiting to see if we can have another move here. Yeah, I probably would have preferred to see the 1 hour here, but we'll see how it works out. Not real. Yeah, let's just see how it works out here. NA Hosmer, where should you long Bitcoin for the long term? For the long term, it's not really a one-time buying thing. It's more of just you dollar cost average, so you get a good base. So eventually, in hindsight, no matter when you bought, it was all so low that the money you're looking at now is like, wow, it's worth so much. So usually, I just recommend dollar cost averaging. I don't really say, hey, buy like at one time on the dip. I usually say dollar cost average, and you're going to be just fine. Yeah, now we went from negative 20 to positive 24, so we'll see how this works out here. Let's see, and Tom Vention has a good point right there as well. It's free to move USD back from Coinbase to bank account as long as you select 3 to 5 days. It usually only takes 1 to 3 days max. Yeah, I don't do that. I do the max one. But I pay for Coinbase One, so I do like to have the cheaper fees there. I would say if you guys do use Coinbase a lot, it's worth it to pay for Coinbase One, because I probably hundreds of dollars a month in fees. If I don't, it can get up there really fast. Bought 4.1 now. Bought 4.1, low 105, now 157. Let's see, so it still has some way to go. Why Bitcoin huge crash today? Technical reasons, I would say. I didn't hear anything. Did anybody hear any news about why crypto crashed? All I heard the news of today, while we might have gone down a little bit more off of Elizabeth Warren, but since we broke down what was actually in the bill, nothing in the bill seems to be too crazy, so to speak, right? And hey, you're watching, probably a lot of people way over in profits. Well, yeah, I mean, when I think about this, I think there's just a lot of people that were long with leverage, and whales on the other side of the equation, you know, the bears, they pretty much forced them to liquidate, and they liquidated a lot. I don't know if any of you guys were watching my 24-hour streams. A couple of them have those liquidation rows in them, and those things were freaking on fire. I bet the website almost broke because of so many liquidations coming through in such a fast amount of time. But again, that's why you have your stop losses. And a stop loss, in a way, remember, the way a stop loss works is it's not like an advanced close where you have a limit order close. A stop loss means you're selling everything at a market price, so it kind of dumps everything, and that's what ended up happening. But of course, dumping everything in a very well liquidated market with something like a Bitcoin or something, you're not going to be in too much of a pain. Liquidating on maybe a smaller exchange when you guys have less access to liquidity, that could be a bigger issue there. Anyway, watching, yeah, I'm hoping it works out here. Normally, I'd want it to break above this level up here, just as that extra comfort zone. But on the 15, we have some moves here, you know, a little bit more bullishness here, some bullishness on the MACD. I'm willing to give it a try at least and see where it goes. You know, worst thing is I lose a few $100. I'm okay with that. But right now, it's just like you gotta wait, and you gotta make sure your stop loss is all the way down here because we might take another dip down, like like yesterday. I bought right here. And before I ended up selling it off that stop loss that hit right there, it came up, it went down. It didn't hit the stop loss down here, but it kept on trickling up. I hate when that happens, but usually when I do these types of trades, I'm not actually watching them. Like after this trade, I'd be hopping on a video game or I'd be hopping onto other work. I'm trying to go to a couple expos next year, so I've been doing a lot of emails. I've been using ChatGPT to write those emails for me. So yeah, it's been pretty nice. Yeah, but we'll keep track of it. I mean, there's a lot of stuff right now that's just taking a beating here. I mean, just really taking a beating. Link is down 10, Theta is down 9, Comp is down 10, XLM is down 8, Pepe is down 13, Arbitrum is down 6. So, you know, Quite a bit of crashes happening today. Anything, you know, parabolic crash like 20% plus, I don't see it. Let's go over here to coinmarketcap.com. I mean, we still got things popping off right now. Injective, KuCoin is up, Celestia is still up here. I own some Celestia. Immutable X is still up. So there are still some things popping off right now and not crashing and burning. On the other side, the biggest loser is only 14% on the top 100, when that's Terra Luna, FTM, and things like that. It's not as bad as you would think for Bitcoin falling off the amount it has. The second page might see more volatility. So VThor token is up 31% last 24 hours. So there are some things doing fine. And only 15%. So yeah, again, there's still some upside here, guys. You just have to be more picky now. Before you couldn't be as picky. And hey, Tom, what do I think about the probability of a lower break after the bounce to 41 200-ish? For me right now, I would say it's most probably more likely to have another break. My fear is, though, if we have that, you see we only have 3 more hours until this daily candle closes. It probably means we're coming back down to like below 40,000, close to the $39,000 level, maybe even back all the way down here to $38,000. That's the concern. If we really want to do another full-blown crash, it's not inconceivable that tomorrow we're testing out the 50-day moving average. And that's all the way down here at 37,363. I'm hoping that's not the case because I think buyers would come in strongly at that level. But we're so overbought right now that, you know, maybe. Like, we haven't checked out the regular RSI lately, but I'm pretty sure if we took a peek at it. Yeah, we've been in overbought territory for a while. This isn't let me see if I can make this look a little bit better for you guys. And then, can I make this, oh, it is 100% opaque. Well, why isn't it? Oh, I guess, let's see if I can make this look easier. Yeah, that's a good enough. 28% seems good enough. We've been oversold for a while here. But, you know, I mean, to be honest, we've been in oversold territory for, overbought territory for a long time here. Not oversold, sorry, overbought. And it hasn't stopped Bitcoin at all. So, you know, it is what it is at this point. But yeah, probably going to continue to come down here if we couldn't go off the oscillators. MACD on the daily is about to cross over to being bearish. Again, not the end of the world. We've had some bearish moves right here, and that didn't do anything. Bearish over here, just slowed down for a little bit. But to me, you know, I like to think that fear kind of spreads a little bit more. I'm hoping that I'm wrong because we've had these type of days where whales just come like, oh, we crashed. Oh, look at that. Oh, we crashed. And then, oh, we come back up. Oh, we crash. Oh, it'll come back up. And, you know, it happens a lot. You know, we've had it a lot of levels of resistance in the past. You know, we had a big downward move here. Next day we came shooting back up. I'm kind of hoping that something like that happens, but I never let those hopes turn into like manifestations. So usually we're going into a bearish trend. I would assume we're going to continue it. I'll be pleasantly surprised, if we manage to bounce. Which is why I said at the beginning, aggressive traders are buying right now. I'm not going to be aggressive. I'm just going to let this kind of settle for a little bit, because my oh my, this was a big one here. And even right now, you know, I just opened up this long here. It's not doing anything. Let's just say that it hasn't gone up, it hasn't gone down. It's just been there. The position, it's up $9.96. So hasn't done a whole bunch of nothing. But again, I'm waiting to see. Normally I'd wait a little bit longer to see if we get above that 15, I think that 20 moving average. For me, I'm like, okay, we have the crossovers here. That's what we need. MACD crossed over here. Let's see if we can break above it, get back up over here to 41,200. Honestly, I would have a price target closer to 41,003, 41,004. But for this particular video, I don't know. I kind of want it to just close while I'm streaming, so I can just leave it alone, or just have it closed by the time I go back to do my other work for the day. But yeah, so my trades are kind of when I'm live streaming, I try to make them not so much long term. That's what ended up happening with Ape Token, and I lost out on a tiny bit of profit with that one. But at the end of the day, I managed to sell before it crashed, which was always the big goal here. Although none of us really saw the big crash coming out of nowhere like this. Maybe somebody did. I did not. How much money people lost in liquidations? Usually for that. Oh, did I get rid of Twitter? Yeah. I would assume I just go over here to notifications. There you go. There you go. 18 hours ago, 150 million was liquidated from the crypto market in just the past 45 minutes. That seems to be about right. I would expect it to be much more. Oh yeah, I also saw this. In January, Logan Paul announced a 1.5 million plan to compensate investors after his crypto NFT project, CryptoZoo, reportedly rug pulled. 11 months later, no money has been returned. And then Logan Paul blocked him. Oh man, I don't see, why doesn't the SEC go after these guys? That's what I understand. Why doesn't the SEC go after them? Justin, Elon Musk. Oh, what has Alex been up to? I don't even know. All I remember him is screaming on Joe Rogan's show. But yeah, so as far as this trade, it might even go a little bit higher. You could even see it from yesterday. But I mean, yesterday I was hoping for it to go to 42,500. just barely didn't make it. And so instead of selling at 42,500, I sold at 42,298, which is like, I don't know, $200 less than what I wanted to. But sure, it's okay. It was a tiny little scalp play. This, again, is going to be something of a shorter term scalp play on a 15-minute chart, and we'll see. But now that we're chugging up a little bit, it's up to $68. Not a lot, but 3 hours of work. No, like 2 hours. I don't know. Depending on what your salary is, that's like a few hours of work, and I'm just kind of chilling at it. So that's the way I view it. I don't know. Remember, I used to work. My first job was $8 an hour job, so pretty much made a little bit compared to that one. I'm kind of hoping for a 50-day SMA test for the long-term health of this rally. I mean, I honestly think it'd be fine, and from there we can start to consolidate a little bit more after a sizable bounce off of the 50. My thing going forward a little bit here is this. So let me actually get rid of this because there we go. So do I not have the SMAs on here? I do not. Let's see. At the 20. I just put out a new tutorial on how to add the SMAs if you guys are curious too. Basically, they changed it so it's no longer moving average. They turned it into simple moving average for some reason, which is definitely a little annoying because everybody had it remember the original text. All right. Okay. So here we have all the moving averages, golden crosses, everything very nice and good. What's probably going to happen here is we're probably going to have a death cross sometime at the end of December or the beginning of January, which will lead us into a bearish period of maybe 1 or 2 months, which would really freak people out. That'd be the really good buying zone. But let's just say over the next few days, we manage to break down below this level. Here's what my plan is on a bullish side. If we break back down, I'll probably look for some support kind of around this area right here. There's a big block, and we'll bounce off of the 50. All right. But after we bounce off the 50, you're going to notice that squeeze happening. If we break down, I'm going to short heavily. If we break out, I'm going to go long like nuts. But I'm going to wait for that squeeze, and that might happen again towards the end of December. Not really like this week, maybe. But again, we may bounce off of this. We may just crash well before that squeeze even happens. There's a whole bunch of other things. But if that scenario plays out, I'll be right there. So I'm thinking end of December, January time. I'll be watching it closely and seeing what happens. At this point, though, you know that this is just going to be a volatile next few days. So if you guys aren't used to trading in volatility, just play it safe. Know that you should have stop losses on here. And if you guys don't have access to stop orders, just make sure you guys have enough alerts out there. And I think you guys should be okay playing around in this environment. But just protect yourself here. I mean, let me see this one right here. Which one was this? Not too bad. I got all the presets here for all the preset indicators. This one's breaking back down below it too. Not terrible. Oh, this one doesn't have anything. This one doesn't have anything. I might have actually deleted some of these here. Let me go over here to... Oh, yeah, probably. Yeah, I deleted this one right here. I hate using the default ones because they aren't thickened. But I mean, oversold. Not actually too bad here with the OBV. RSC. Okay. I mean, as far as a 4-hour chart, you can definitely see we've come down quite a bit, which is why a lot of the aggressive traders are buying up here. But like I said, I'm scalping right now. I am not. Woo! You know, let's go long here and let's have a fun time. Let's look at the trade right now. Getting closer, getting closer. I don't know. The position that we just took a few minutes ago, it's up $86, 8%. Not bad. Maybe I should have put more money into it. But again, that's what I said. Normally when I scalp like this and I don't know what's going to happen, I guess you never know exactly what's going to happen next when you're trading, right? I try to take that $100 and run, but normally I'd be like a $2,000 position at a 50x leverage and then pop up. 30x leverage gives me more opportunity to not care about it because I know the money lost is, if it does come back down, it's not going to be too bad. You know, like normally in the situation, as we're breaking back out, I might move my stop loss back up here, 40,578. But for now, I think I can just do a quick close if it does come down to it actually not breaking out here. But I'm happy enough with it. I'm going to actually move this MACD down a little bit and same with the stochastic. They're taking up a little bit too much space here for me. And MACD crossover, stochastic crossover, should be fine. And you notice the stochastic crossed over here, a small move, but the MACD was nowhere in that range, so I'm happy I waited for a little bit. Some of you guys were asking me about some of the tutorials that I gave you over the past few weeks. You said the stochastic is usually crossing over before the MACD crosses over, so why shouldn't I buy? You know, why should I have the MACD at all? And this is one of those examples where, hey, well, sure, the stochastic crossed over on the 15-minute chart, but it didn't work out. So by having that one, usually going to be a little bit nicer. So we're up to $125 now, 13%, $139, $132 and such. I don't know if we're going to actually break out above this on this exact candle. But again, we're going to watch and see. At least we're testing out this resistance. Usually it would come back down, and that's why I said it takes a little bit longer. So it might be like another 45 minutes before it actually hits that price target. Because our price target is, what did I say it was? 42. See, this is why I have the price targets and stuff, because I have a horrible memory when it comes to this. Target price is 41,500. Yeah, so I'm looking for it to get all the way up here. And so usually I'd be like right here. This is, yeah, okay. I wanted to seem smarter than I am and make sure it actually closed during the stream, but we'll have to wait. We'll have to wait and see. We're up about what is that? $156 so far, so we'll keep an eye on it. It's moving up bit by bit. Yeah, I should stop looking at it. I'm mesmerized by profits. I'm always fucking mesmerized by profits. And hey, Round Earth, I'm going to go all in on a long at 37K, 37.5 to 38K and ride the bounce and downs to 55K Santa rally. What do you call it? The rally is going to be much better once we have news about those ETFs. It's going to make life a lot easier because we're going to have a massive pump, probably a massive crash following that event. However, with those ETFs being approved, the long-term holders are just going to be like, I'm buying more, I'm buying more, I'm buying more, because they're not thinking about the next week or the week after that. They're thinking about the next bull run and how much that's going to go up. $100,000 easy with institutional money in there. Easily with institutional money leading the way. Excuse me. Santa will bring gifts and pamp up my special fund. What do you call it? I bet everybody's hoping for Santa to give them a nice Bitcoin rally here. Still trying to break out above this. Let me go over here very fast. We've managed to break above the 20 on the 5 and the 50 on the 5. That's not bad. 50 on the 5 here. Yeah, you can see how we're playing around with it just a little bit over the past few hours. I guess 20 hours or something like that. Yeah, hitting a little bit of a rejection right now. Nothing crazy, but enough to like, uh-oh, what should we do? Because the bears do not want this to go back up, because that leads to another like an hour or 2 hours of us going up a little bit more. The other side of this, which I was gonna tell you guys about before, let's say that tomorrow we do have another crash event or something. A lot of times before crashes, like on the second, third day, we tend to have a nasty wake up, which is like a relief, like a fair value gap relief, and then we continue to plummet down. But within that relief, those first few hours, you have an opportunity to make some money. I don't know. We haven't had a long crash like this in a while, though. That wasn't it. Maybe something like that, but we haven't had it happen in a very long time. No, none of these are like large first and second. Wow, we have to go back all the way to FTX days, but yeah, this one barely even had a wick here, so maybe I'm not correct there. Yeah, we haven't had a big crash event in a while. I'm thinking something like more like this, but we haven't had one in such a long time. Damn, my memory is failing me here. There's a little work there, but still that wasn't the beginning of the crash. Yeah, see, a little bit right there. I don't know if you want to call that a crash though. A little bit there. But that's all I'm looking to scalp, I guess, technically, but yeah. But Bitcoin still looks nice to me at this point. That's why I said so many people are going to be looking to buy into it at this point. I just really want to see Bitcoin break out here. We got another 2 minutes and 40 seconds before this candle closes. Like I said, we could probably just break out the next one, but right now we're up $141 consolidated basically here on the 1 minute and 5 minute charts. 15-minute charts is trying to go bullish, but we're at an impasse at this point. All right, let's go back over here very fast and let's just do a quick zoom out. Anything moving up right now? Beam is up a little bit right now. Oh, Beam is up 141% at this point. So Beam might be something. I know a lot of you guys were watching Bonk over the last few days. This one finally came back down a little bit. The last time we talked about trading this was right here as it was crashing. I told you guys usually when it crashes a little bit, you guys can buy and make some money. This one did not continue making another all-time high though, which kind of sucked. So if you guys were able to buy somewhere down here as it was coming back down, you guys maybe had the maximum opportunity to make 20%. Most of you guys maybe only made about 10%. Or you breaking even right now if you're still holding. At this point, I would not be in Bonk just because of how crazy this rally has been. You know, all the way up here, like it's been absolutely crazy. However, if you guys want to, you guys can definitely still be in it. Just have those stop losses prepared because this thing is not immune to falling down large amounts. This drop right here was 30% drop, which in just 2 days, 8 hours. Oh, it's not even days. In 8 hours, it fell down 30%. So this can get volatile. If you guys are looking for a way to make money off of Bonk, like I said before, you want to buy during those crashes. But since that trend has been messed up now, you're just waiting for that breakout, the stochastic to move up higher and the MACD to move up higher. None of those things are happening right now. 2 hour chart maybe. MACD positive here, stochastic here. So yeah, a little bit of a buying opportunity, but really not much. And no change of characters. We're in a bearish change of characters, so probably not even worth it to take the trade. 1 hour right here. Yeah, so that one worked out a little bit. A few hours of nice profits, but come on. So yeah, those 2 buying opportunities here versus here. See, the one thing I never understand completely is, to me, I think of this to this is a small change of character. All algorithms think of these larger ones. So I wonder if there's a minimum amount of time frames that have to happen for the algos to say, hey, this is a change of character. Because to me, this is a change of character right here because we're breaking above those lower highs. Does that make sense? But I wonder if it's like a 10 candle minimum. Excuse me. Whew. Dusty. No, Paul and freaking I've been spending the last hour outside with Loki. Let's go back over here. And there we go. We're starting to pump up a little bit more here. 41,000. Yeah. We're up $180, $90 right now, $210 right now, $211. See, that would have been nice to close right there. In fact, I'm totally the guy that would close in this scenario, so I'm not going to go against that. Let's just do that little quick close, 224, 237. 238. If we drop down below 238, I'll close it. 241, 36, 37, 244, 243, 244, 251, 256, 261, 54, 265. I'll close it. Okay, there we go. That's good enough. Now, I know this thing may go higher, but I get scared. Like I said, I had a plan in the original. I talked myself into something more grand so I could pretend like I'm making more money or something like that. But I'm happy with the way that turned out. And again, it may hit the price target of 41,500 that we had, but I don't know. The profit just seemed like it was good enough for me. We'll see how that works out. And hey, Chris, back to 2017. Yeah, I mean, what do you call it? When it comes to those big crashes that we were talking about? What do you call it? 2017 also had some of those. But oh no, you're probably talking about the Santa Claus rally. That definitely was a good rally here. All right, now we're just gonna wait and see if I sold too early, which I normally do. But the way I'm thinking about this in my head when it comes to Fibonacci's, and yeah, we're making a move up here even more. The way I'm thinking about this in my head is if I look at this and look at this, see that one target right there? That like I can see it in my head already, and that's why I was like, I normally would be out there. And it's crazy that I can see that in my head, I guess I would say. But like you do this enough and you have a pretty good idea of where those Fibonacci levels are going to be. And that's what I was like, you know what? That's my price target. I don't know. We'll see if I sold too early, though. We will see. I don't know. Well, no. So I can never be mad at myself for making a profit. So that's like my rule. Even if it's like a $5 profit, I can be disappointed or something that I didn't make more. But I can't be upset about it because, like, think of all the people that are losing money at this time, right? Like, you know, there's probably some guy that bought up my Bitcoin as I just sold it right there. And he's probably going long and he's waiting to see what happened. But maybe he's, you know, let me go to the 1 minute chart. Maybe he's nervous all of a sudden because we're making a small downtrend or something. But whenever I see a move like that, I'm like, might as well sell into it. So we'll wait and see. I don't know. You guys can critique me all you want. All you want. And just as a reminder here, we are looking at a death cross forming up here on the 4-hour chart. We haven't had a death cross for a while. It didn't really amount to anything, to be honest, but we did see a lot of volatility in there. We've only had one death cross really since this rally started. Before the rally started over here, we had a death cross, then another golden cross. Yeah, it only led to maybe a few hours of downward trend, but nothing huge, which is why I'm kind of like worried about what happens over the next few days here. There we go. Hey, you're watching Sheesh go on, Mike. And hey, Hamza, you're amazing, man. I made 2K following trade. Well, hey, I appreciate it. I'm glad you made more money than I did. And it may go higher nonetheless, but again, I tend to sell too early, and I think I'm usually proud of that, I guess. I say it a lot like it's a really bad thing, but like, profit is profit. Profit is profit. That's usually what I like to do. Not all my trades are going to work out, so don't go all in on every single trade I do. But, you know, I've learned a lot by trading crypto crashes quite a bit. And usually those small change of characters that pop up with the stochastic and the MACD, that usually gives me an opportunity. But it all depends on the type of chart you're trading. So, for example, this was a 15-minute chart, so I'm not going to really hold it for too long, maybe at most an hour. Maybe at most, maybe an hour and a half, actually. But on a 4-hour chart, I can hold that for days. You know, MACD crossover all the way back over here, stochastic crossover here. Could have been holding it for days. It would have never hit the stop. No, it would have hit the stop loss there. Then you would have been pissed off. But there was no change of character here, I guess, which makes a difference. But yeah, these crashes, I've played with them a lot. Same thing with yesterday, but you just got to be careful with the stop loss up. But I'm going to be interested to see what happens next, because during yesterday's crash, we ended up coming back down below it and then moving up higher. That move higher was probably when you're going to hit 41,500, but I don't want to take the chance, to be honest. I'm happy to lock in that profit and to be like, hey, what am I going to do at 200 bucks, 250 bucks, whatever it was? I honestly don't know, but I'll use it for Christmas presents or a Vegas trip flight or something like that. Who knows? All right. Anything else happening right now? I don't think it's too bad here. Hey, Mike, do you see Bitcoin hitting 50K by January 1st? Only if we have news from the ETF approvals. At this point, I'd probably say no unless we have that news. I could see Bitcoin consolidating for the next few weeks and then trying to have another big pop. If you're looking for $50,000 Bitcoin, really it comes to, can we have a legitimate breakout on the daily chart or the weekly chart? To me, that would happen probably in the next, about a week, a little over a week into the month. So not this week, but towards the end of next week or the week after that, you know, to like New Year's Eve type stuff. It'd be closer to New Year's Eve and not so much to now. Usually when I see these types of things, we're going to have to go through a pretty decent amount of consolidation. And just so you can understand, hold on a second here, guys. Got a piece of dog hair in my mouse laser thing, so there we go. I need to get my tweezers. I used to have tweezers somewhere here before I cleaned off my desk. But yeah, it's working now. These consolidations can last for a while. So the last consolidation we had from over here, that consolidation was 22 days. December will be over almost in 22 days. So I would say probably not, unless we have some type of parabolic move. And even those parabolic moves didn't make us have these crazy breakouts. We consolidated, we broke it above resistance. You saw the MACDs start to turn over. You saw the stochastics start to turn over, even though it was over here in bearish territory, which is a whole different thing. Bullish territory, which is a whole different thing. Not bullish, Jesus. Overbought territory. I'm so sorry. Talking too fast right now. But for me, I think it probably happened towards the end of December, and then probably more likely in January, as long as everything is still fine. Everybody in the news is freaking out about 2024, but honestly, I don't think the first quarter of 2024 is supposed to be some horrible thing, at least for it now, because there's so much money sloshing around. And isn't tomorrow... 12/12. Yeah, December 12th right here. We have CPI data coming out tomorrow, so that might give a big boost to cryptocurrency, but it's going to be a lot of volatility here, guys. A lot of volatility. So if CPI is bad for whatever reason, Bitcoin's going to like $37,000 tomorrow. Easy. If CPI is good, we can have a really seismic bounce. I'm hoping it doesn't rely on the CPI data, but it could be a huge factor when it comes to tomorrow. And that could change up the technicals of what we're seeing over the next few weeks. I think the Elizabeth Warren stuff should die down fairly quickly. We went over to ChatGPT a while ago, and we used ChatGPT to analyze the text. And basically, it's just a little bit more regulations, but it's nothing too much. It's not as much teeth here. This is the bill. It's only like 11 pages. But basically, what was it? Yeah, so mandates the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network to issue guidance on digital assets, definitions, regulatory requirements, specific measures, oversight and examination regulations. But it's so short that it doesn't have all the hidden stuff, you know, all the loopholes and things like that. It's very basic stuff, which personally I'm okay with it. You know, if they're going after specifically human traffickers and drug dealers and stuff like that, sure, why not? The kiosk, though, I don't know much about digital asset kiosks. I have never seen one. I have seen one, but I've never used one, I guess. So I don't know if they're gonna have to rely on more rules and regulations, but I'm not gonna cry a river over a kiosk, you know. But yeah, nothing really crazy here. So I think just like when you read the bill, it doesn't sound too bad when you read it. But if you go over here, where was that? Listen, introduces bill to crack down on crypto. This doesn't feel like a crackdown bill. It just feels like a simple, slight regulation to say, hey, we're going to be focusing on illegal actors None of us are legal actors. We're going to be fine in this. Now, if they give me a 100-page, 200-page bill, that's when I start to get more concerned about crypto regulation, because then I have to go in and read in every single little thing, see what the little loopholes are, see what all the bad stuff is in there that could hurt crypto companies, stuff like that. But for now, I didn't feel like that bill was anything really crazy or radical. There's a narrative of anything that goes against cryptocurrency is usually like really, really bad. I mean, it's regulation, sure, but it's not like it's devastating regulation that's just going to hurt everybody going forward. I don't feel like that. Oh, come on, Bitcoin. Keep moving up here. Keep chugging. Keep chugging. Keep chugging. I really like this. If we close above this, then I think it might give me a change of character pop. If I go over here to Lux Algo and I do the smart money one, does that change anything? No. Okay. 3 minutes left. Yeah, this is a battle right here, because you could probably see the next one chugging up even higher. But I'm not going to make that trade. I don't want to make that trade. That scalping is not worth my money. Even though I guess I had bought a 40,850 to 41,002. I guess it's probably maybe similar, but not as much. Not for a high leverage play after I already made money. That's how you lose it back. It's like going to the casino and you're like, okay, I won some money. Usually when I go to a casino in Las Vegas, because I don't go to casinos too much here, what I'll do is I'll make some money or I'll lose some money. But if I win a large pot of money, like I make a few $100, I typically just leave and I go. Now I don't spend the money on anything really, but then I like later on when I go gamble, I'll have that extra income to spend. And if I lose that money, then I can go back to my original pot. But it's nice and easy, and it's not you don't feel bad. I feel bad when I lose money gambling. What do you call it? When I lose large amounts of money gambling. So I try not to lose large amounts of money gambling. I usually gamble the most when I'm drunk though. And so I like to gamble between 2 o'clock and like 4 o'clock in the morning when I'm like drunk, had a few cigars, had a few cocktails or whatever, and then I go. But that's usually where I win the most, because everybody else has lost all their money, so those machines are ready to pop off. That's what I found at least. But who wants? Well, there's people up at 4 o'clock in the morning in Vegas. What am I talking about? Just not as many. Not as many. But I like to go into my card games and stuff too for the blackjack. And hey, Boo Grip, you made a profit on high risk, good trade. Yeah, that's true. Imagine if I would have put down a little bit more money. But the way I was thinking about it is just, again, you saw that small change of character there, and then you saw the MACD about to cross over. You saw the stochastic cross over. Those small trades. I think what people just get wrong is when you're on a smaller time frame and you're using some of the indicators or oscillators that I like to use, they seem to think in terms of long-term, like hours and hours of reversals off of just those technicals. When in reality, if you're on a 5-minute chart and it hits, you're probably going to be looking at the next half an hour of moves, because again, these things move up so rapidly. Every few hours you're going to be at the top, every few hours you're going to be at the bottom, things like that. But I'm hoping that we got a minute left. I want to see if that change of character actually pops here. I'll zoom back out a little bit though, because the last change of character is right here, and wow, that ended up being a good one. Look at that. Bearish, change of character. It hung out for a while. So that's the trade I should have done. I kind of made like $1,000 doing that. But what was this? Yeah, it was 5:15 in the morning. I was sleeping. I didn't wake up this morning, guys, until like 9 o'clock or something. So like all the way over here. I woke up, I saw Bitcoin was down. I was like, okay, let me take a shower, wash my face, put more oils on my scalp, because I'm bald all of a sudden. Yeah, it took Loki to play out for like an hour. And then I was like, okay, time to go live. I see testing all-time highs within 2 months if we bounce off the 50-day SMA. That'd be something right there. I'm hoping along with the, what do you want to call it? I'm hoping along with the, why am I drawing a blank on this? The ETF announcements and stuff like that. I do think we should be able to get back up to at least 50,000, and if not, going up to the mid 50s, maybe even the high 50s. All-time highs, I'm hopeful for something like that to happen, but I don't know if it'll happen this year. Probably sometime next year, I would say, maybe at the end of Q1. But I'm usually a little bit slower behind these types of larger moves. Like I said, I do my trends and I buy, and all of a sudden I'm very surprised with how huge a pop may happen. I expect a move, but not all the time does the move go up as high as or the move usually goes higher than I think. That's my problem. I sell too early. My rule for all-time highs is basically when we're in a full-on bull market, my longer-term investments, I sell them once we start looking at death crosses between the 20-day moving average and the 50-day moving average. That's worked out for me over the past 5-6 years now. But again, who knows if it'll work this time? I'm hoping it will. But again, we'll have to wait and see. Right now, I mean, let's see. No, see, we didn't get that change of character here. I don't know what the time limit is for this one. If I go over here to the smart money, because I got the Lux up, I got the price action concepts one, which is their premium version of it. It's not up here, yeah. There's an order block up here at 41,006, but like I said, I would typically like to sell out earlier. Oh, no, I want that one. I don't want this one. Yeah, I wonder what the difference is on this. On a 5-minute chart, you're probably seeing it. Yeah, 5-minute chart, change your character. There, see, it popped up there. With the 2 crossover here. Maybe you want to even do the crossover here because we had a secondary one. And so you want to buy, I guess, I don't know. When was that crossover, though? But again, see, that was a daily chart. So, I mean, this is a 5-minute chart. So you're only going to be in it for like a half an hour. Yeah, so it actually matches change character. So, you know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Oh, wait, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Oh, yeah, look at that. It actually popped up right there. Right now, we're just having the smaller consolidation level. But it all depends on the types of trades you're looking for. I should do more live trading every now and again, though. And also, I don't know if you guys saw this. We had the slightest of breakouts right there, too. Up right there. All right, so we're already starting to break out of this trend, which is nice. Now, how this ends, I don't know, but I'm hoping we can have another breakout here fairly soon. About to have a golden cross, at least on the 5. 15 will know we're close to a golden cross, but we can all wait and dream, right? Seeing, hey Marcus, Doge, yes I can, and Patel, if you, so basically I can't really tell you like if you should sell your position because I have no idea when you bought it. Basically, when it comes to things like AD and other altcoins right now that are kind of having these really bad downshifts, when you made the trade, you probably had some type of idea of where you were going to hold it to, so like a stop loss. If your stop loss is hit, like mine, or you know, my ADA stop loss hit, I sold my ADA already. When it crashed, and it's unfortunate, but I mean, I made profit, I guess, but my position is now close enough to take the time to find a new opening position for it. As far as that's concerned, yeah, it's basically whatever your stop loss is. Nobody can tell you exactly when you should have your stop loss, but for me, my stop loss is pretty tight because of basically just waiting for that next consolidation period to hit. But I'm already out of my position. Now, as far as Dogecoin's concerned, Dogecoin did break down. It did have those new lows here, unfortunately. We are still looking at a pretty decent uptrend here, so that's pretty good. Let me get rid of these order blocks, though. The order blocks on Dogecoin look pretty nasty. Not like real nasty, just like an aesthetic nastiness. There you go. Because it's so cluttered together. So at this point, you're probably going to see Dogecoin coming back down here to 0.08882. A little bit below 9 cents, basically. That's where that old level of support is. Also, you're going to be seeing that by the 20-day moving average. I'd probably say if Bitcoin just continues to come back down, which I see bearish on Dogecoin, I'd probably say it's probably going to come back down here to that 8.087 level. If you're lucky, it may come back down here to the 200 on the 4-hour chart. That's where I'd probably look to be buying up a little bit more. To the 2-hour chart. You're seeing a little bit of reversals kind of tying into what we've been watching with Bitcoin here. Let's see. And I think, I mean, what my price was like 41,500 for Bitcoin. So I think there's a little bit more upswing here. Hopefully it continues to move on beyond that. But it looks like we already broke down below that one. We're kind of chugging along here in a little bit of a downtrend. Until that downtrend is broken, I wouldn't really be touching Dogecoin at this point in time. Let me get rid of some of these smaller trend lines here to just clean this chart up a little bit for us. We don't need that one anymore. Yeah, I might be buying closer to that 0.088 level that we were talking about. That's where I'd be looking to buy in and try to look for a reversal. Right now, I mean, my Dogecoin stop loss is obviously hit. I didn't really have many of them. Death cross on the 2, 4-hour death cross incoming. Yeah, I'd give it some time to churn and see what happens. If you're looking for an opportunity to buy sooner rather than later, you might wait for some of the oscillators to turn around, but I'm looking at them and the 2 hour is not good, the 4 hour is not good, the daily is not good. The hourly is getting there, but not there yet. Maybe take 1 or 2 more hours. The 15 was there. But that was at 11:45, and now it's at 1:36. So it's been, buy there, wait a little bit, it popped back up. Maybe on the 5-minute chart there was another better opportunity. Yeah, change your character there. Crossover, MACD looking okay. There was also the MACD and crossover right here with no change of character. I probably would have waited, and it's been a slight move. Not the craziest, but I think it's okay. Personally, I'd be waiting a little bit longer for it to come back down and see what happens. See if it gives you another opportunity tomorrow. Right now, it doesn't seem like it'd be worth it to buy, but it doesn't. This overall trend isn't dead. I would stress that. So eventually, it should be continue to go back up here, back 10 cents, past 11 cents, and so forth in the future. All right, let's see if Bitcoin's making a move here. Did it make a move? It's trying. It's just consolidating and trying. 5-minute chart, yeah. Oh yeah, it tried. It's making some closing. It's closing higher here, which is good. But yeah, there's a little bit of a battle going on there. I don't like to play around with those battles, which is why I sold out early. But we'll see. And hey, Ken, yeah, right now 37,000. I'd probably just dumb it down to the 50-day moving average here. 37,347. Because basically, if we start breaking down below this, you're going to see a huge bad day tomorrow. The next day, we'll probably have that huge support bounce. So if you're looking for a stronger opportunity to buy a dip, it would be around that 50-day moving average. And again, if you buy anywhere near like the 20-day moving average that we just saw, or let me go back over here just to have this flat screen. There you go. Let's go back over to the daily. Sweet, okay. All right, anywhere literally close to them is usually opportunities because that's where a good strong level of support is. But the 50 here, that's a pretty big drop. That takes you back down to the support that we were just talking about. That's another 9% drop for Bitcoin. And I mean, nothing about this trend says it's over yet. We've had the beginning of the trend start to say, hey, maybe we can breathe a little bit. But unfortunately, remember, we were just talking about this, I don't know, like 15 minutes ago. We have the CPI report coming out tomorrow. And the last time inflation popped up, the whole market had the biggest tissy fit of the whole year. Where we had a few months of just going down before we saw this massive rally. So if we start to see inflation tick back up, it's going to be not terrible, but well, it depends on how high it ticks up. If it does tick up, maybe bad. I would expect CPI tomorrow to be good, almost good enough, I would say, to actually get us below 3% and back into the 2s. I think that would be a big boost to Bitcoin and a lot of the stock market. And I think that would give Bitcoin a $2,000 plus day tomorrow. As long as you don't have any more news about Congress, women, and men going after cryptocurrencies and stuff like that. That's what I'm hoping happens tomorrow. We'll see if it actually does. But at this point, I'm not really risking dipping my feet into any of that. What I'm doing is I'm just waiting for that consolidation that we talked about earlier, and I actually messaged you about it yesterday. Yeah, I think that's the safest way to play this for me. I told you guys that aggressive traders at the beginning of the stream are going to be buying right now. I don't know. When did I start the stream? 12:30. So like right here. Now, of course, we've gone up a little bit on the 5-minute chart, but not like anything crazy that's, life-changing money or anything like that. But that's what they're looking for at this point. I did a day trade for part of that. That's as much as I'm really going to hop into this market at this point. But yeah, 37,000, great level of support. I would just dumb it down and just say 50-day moving average here for the majority of people out there, because you're going to see there's a level of resistance here, basically, from before we broke out. Right, broke out there. That was really around $38,000. I would say 38,000, 37,000, high 37,000s because that moving average there. That's pretty much a good opportunity if you wanted to buy. Right now, though, just understand that if we have bad CPI numbers, it could all be for naught. Because economic news can really just kill anything. The technicals on both sides, right? Oh, we may be about to pop here. Oh my gosh, this thing may go up better than I thought. Or faster than I thought, I should say. It's trying so hard. I really want it to just pop. Because normally in these situations, you see that little... There's a wall. There's a wall. We want to pop, pop, pop. Back here. We can go over here to the 1 second chart. I pay for premium only for this 1 second. I don't really care about all the indicators and stuff. But I'm hoping we just have a large pop. But again, it's gonna be... It's a maybe. It's a maybe at this point. And hey, to here, should I sell my XRP in Ocean? I'm going to give you the same answer I gave the other guy earlier. When you open up a position, any position, with leverage or without leverage, you should have something that's known as a stop loss. What I'd recommend is that you go over here to Google and you just type in stop loss Investopedia. And it'll break open what a stop order is. And it'll help you understand when you should have them and how you should have them on your charts. And the stop loss orders, right? Break everything down. For me, my stop losses all got hit, so I'm not really in any long positions at this point besides my longer term longs, if that makes sense. I'm hoping I have another opportunity to enter into the markets, but right now, besides a few scalps and day trades, I'm not really holding much here because I've had to lock in those profits. Now I have to just wait for an opportunity to buy back into a lot of those positions. And I call ICP. Oh wait, ICP. All right, this one had a little bit of a dump like everything else. Not too crazy. Hasn't come back down to the 20-day moving average. The 20-day, it honors it quite a bit, I would say. Not a whole bunch, but it tries to. Golden cross over here. This has a very, very similar look to Bitcoin compared to a lot of other tokens out there. You look at this looks like the Bitcoin chart we were just following on the daily. But if you go over here to something like an XRP, it looks totally different than Bitcoin, right? There we go. So at this point, a few things I would just put on those simple Fibonacci levels first of all. I might be more likely to buy if it gets back down below $5, closer to around $4.63. Really though, this hasn't actually gone down to the 20-day moving average so far, so I'm not actually too worried about it. 2-hour chart still bearish, 1-hour chart getting more bullish here. Yeah, you can see a little bit of a swing happening. Was there a change of character here? Yeah, there was a buying opportunity right over here. Let's go over here, I guess. Buy, right there, yeah. So now we have a change of character forming at this point in time too. I think it's fine for right now. My stop losses would have hit on this one, so I wouldn't be in it at this point, but 1 hour, I wouldn't be buying here. I'd be scaling out of a position you bought over there on the 15-minute chart or the 5-minute chart. But over here. What's that next level of resistance that you have to be worried about here? Ah, there it is. Okay. Maybe if you want to open up a short, if we hit back around $5.30 or so, I really wouldn't be taking that right now just because of all the volatility that's going to be hitting Bitcoin here pretty soon. But I think overall, that same thing as almost Dogecoin here. The trend is still nice. Let me just top this on here for you. If you're looking to be more worried about what's going on, or not really worried, but you're just like being aware that this trend breaks down, it'll be if we break down below this trend line right here, which would be a pretty devastating move just because you'd be breaking down below the 20-day moving average and the 50-day. Last time we broke down below the 20, there was a lot of volatility here, and that would probably enter into a death cross. That would most likely bring you back down here to the low 4s. And if that does occur, the low 4s is probably where I would try to buy back into this, unless I mean, I don't think we're going to have another death cross here unless the market really cools off as a whole next year, but I might be looking for longer, like a dollar cost average heavily. I might be looking at close to the low fours, like 420, 430, 520 for it now. Not really my place to be buying unless we dip back down even more over the next few days and we have a bad CPI report. Buy closer to this trend line here. That'll give you a good day trade bounce. Swing trade bounce, you'd want to wait for a little bit longer of a breakout there. But if you're looking for a quick, easy buy, it'll be around this trend line here down the road. Oh, it's curling back over, which sucks. We made another low here. We weren't able to pop back up. So yeah, it may take a little bit longer for consolidation here. We'll come back to another time though and say, hey, did it reach the 41,500 or was I smart for selling a little bit early, I guess. They're about 5% down. Well, it depends on what your stop loss is. Like that's the whole thing. Like everybody has their own style of trading. So for me, I like to swing trade, although I do some day trading here and there, or I do some scalping. If you were scalping and you're down 5%, you probably would have sold by now. If you're day trading and you're down 5%, you probably would have sold by now. If you're swing trading and you're down 5%, you're probably still holding, but it depends on if you have your stop loss or not. So for something like an XRP, you know, my stop loss before I got hit, it's something pretty simple. Let me get out of here and get all these things out. Let's move that to the full screen. So as XRP goes up, let's see, I buy XRP over here on this big pop and the change of character and stuff like that. My stop loss was right here, okay? After we pop up here, my stop loss got moved up. After we popped up again, my stop loss got moved up. After we popped up again, my stop loss got moved up. And again, after we popped up over here, my stop loss probably got pumped up right over here. All right. Now, my stop loss hit over here, so it's a different type of scenario, but basically the same concept. And so eventually we came down, and then we hit right here and my stop loss hit, and I'm therefore out of the trade. That's how I do my swing trades. But it really depends on if you, where your last stand is, so to speak. So how much further do you want to hold it? For me, I was happy to take my profits, but if you buy up here, what's an easy way to show it? Like here. Okay, so there wasn't really an opportunity to buy over the last yesterday. But let's say you bought some over here as the trend was going back up. If I buy right here on this change of character, my stop loss is here. Same concept. You move it up. You move it up. Move it up. And then over here, you probably just move it up to this one or this one. I'd probably go right here because I'm a little bit more aggressive. My stop loss would have hit right here, and I would have had to, I would have sold right there. All right. So at this point, I'm out, but I can't tell you like based on how everybody has their own trading styles. For me, it's best to learn how to use stop losses. That way, you're not how do I say it? Like stuck holding a bag for longer than you might otherwise want to be. If you swing trading, 5% isn't really all too much. But if you're trying to day trade and try to make a quick buck, 5%'s a lot, especially if you're trading with leverage and things like that. And here we go, consolidating happening right now in the 5. That's icky. But we'll see how it works out. At least everything's still bullish on the oscillators here. That makes me a little bit happier. NA Sinclair AVAX. I sold my AVAX 23 by accident. I was just trying to sell one token to buy lunch. Well, I mean, hey, that's a pretty nice lunch for 40 bucks or so. Or 23 by accident. Never mind, it's been a while since it's been 23. AVAX is one of the things we just talked about on crypto market cap here. It's still pumping up. Break a structure here. 4 hour. Ooh, what was that I just did? There we go. It's breaking out, still seems to be going stronger. Would I be buying maybe a day trade here or so? Swing trading, I would not touch it just because I'm afraid eventually it'll catch up to where Bitcoin is. Most of the time, altcoins always catch up to Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin's breaking down today, I expect a lot of altcoins to be following it over the next few days or so, okay? Now, on the daily chart, you're seeing that breakout happen right now. You're going to see people buying this right now. Crossovers here. MACD just turned positive, so maybe people are going to be buying again like right now and not before the breakout. 15-minute chart, the time to buy was back over here, so it was right there. That was a long time to wait before a big pop happened, but I guess people do it. It would have never hit that stop loss there, so that was actually a pretty decent play. Got noisy around here though with all that moving. Yeah, I mean, it's still chugging along. I had a really bad day yesterday, of course, but it's still chugging. It's not really an easy way to add technicals onto this one because of everything going on. I mean, yeah, it's broken out of everything so far, so there's not really much I can say about this one. The weekly chart's starting to slow down a little bit. That's not bad at all, just because of, you know, how fast everything's been moving up. Daily charts are still bullish. You're going to be riding it for a while. I would say you're going to be doing a lot of day trading on this one, riding it up higher and higher and higher. For now, though, is there one that actually works a little bit better? A little bit there. I mean, that next price target is $44. That's insane. Let's try to go for a shorter term one. Is there something where it's trend here from there to there to there, but that's not going to really give us too much, but I guess it'll have to do. Yeah, around the 40s seem to be like 42, 43. I guess that's where I would be looking for a nice price target. At this point, though, it's pumping after a breakout, so if you wanted to catch the breakout, there's the time. But careful not to get too much FOMO in here, like I said, because eventually it's going to come back down to where Bitcoin is. There you go. All right, everybody, I'm going to hop off the stream right now. I'll stream again later on tonight if I have time. I probably will, and we'll talk about more stuff, and we'll come back and look at Bitcoin and what's going on there. I just wanted to hop on because I saw Bitcoin crashing, and I wasn't able to stream last night because, you know, Sunday and going out with my family, and by the time I made that video for you guys, I was still pretty buzzed from drinking, so I didn't want to make a I don't want to go live when I was too tipsy. But yeah, right now we're seeing an okay hold off of Bitcoin. We're probably going to see some consolidation. Hopefully we go up a little bit higher. Watch out for CPI tomorrow, but I'll expand upon that later on tonight. Take it easy, relax. Most of you guys, just make sure you guys have your stop losses, and hopefully we can have some stronger moves happen over the next few hours. Get ready for more volatility no matter what happens tomorrow, though. So if you guys are going to be trading, have your stop losses, get ready for CPI data plus moving average volatility, which can make Bitcoin probably pop up another $2,500 tomorrow or crash down $3,000 tomorrow. Either one of those things is most likely going to happen tomorrow. You just have to be on the right side of it. And hopefully, with a few more hours of technicals in here, we can see if we're going to be trying to hold this 20-day moving average at least until tomorrow morning, okay? Thanks, everybody.